You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Cushiony Siren Son of a Sock, who says, "Hey Digi, can you rant about collecting plushies? Plushies are adorable merch that's fun to collect, but people constantly give me shit for liking them. What are your thoughts on collecting plushies, and do you keep any?" I do. I think plushies are adorable and fun. What's not to like about them? If you can find plushies of characters you like, by all means. But I will also say, plushies can become an extremely expensive, degenerate hobby. So, like, you know, for me growing up, I always had, like, plushies around. My mom collected a lot of Thai Beanie Babies for a little while. You know, we have lots of Pokemon plushies and shit. I've got a plushie of Henrietta from Gunslinger Girl around somewhere. Not an immediate sight. But I also have a bunch of Pokemon plushies that I've taken with me. But, like, I don't go out of my way to collect them. I tend to find them to be, like, overpriced and not really wanting to... I don't know. I don't buy a lot of nerd ephemera at this point. I mostly like posters because they make for good set design, you know? And it's easier to kind of make your own than it is to actually find posters these days. But as for plushies, my previous girlfriend from like 4 years ago, maybe more. God, how fucking long has it been? Time be flying by. 5 years ago. She was a huge plushie collector, to an extent where she would spend hundreds of dollars on plushies regularly. And she would get them off of like Etsy or handmade ones made by people on DeviantArt, and you really had to like be fucking at the ready to get that shit, because they would basically open up orders. Like, they would say when, like, what time they were going to open up orders, and then it would fill up, like, right away. So she'd be there at, like, 7 in the fucking morning, like, waiting for them to open up orders to get in before, you know, it was full, to buy, like, $300 plushies that are handmade by people that, you know, they look great and they're sturdy and all, or, you know, they're not all of them are $300, sometimes like 70, 80, whatever, but she had a bunch of them, and like, you know, it's like these things are cool and all, but god damn, you know, the amount of money and effort it takes to get a hold of one, and it was clearly not a responsible use of money on her part, but, you know, it was I mean, they're cute to get, like a super accurate plushie, you know. It takes a lot of craft and effort, but, you know, if you're gonna collect plushes, you might as well just stick to the official ones. Like, yeah, they're not always, you're not gonna get every character you want, and some of them are gonna be kind of ugly. I mean, maybe if there's just one character you really love and somebody's made an amazing plush of it, go for it. But don't let yourself get wrapped up in the world of I need to own every good-looking plushie, because you will go bankrupt immediately. I guess it's the same as figure collecting. You know, if you get obsessed with like, oh, I gotta get all the good figures, it's like, yeah, well, you're gonna be dead by the end of that. But you know, for just regular ass plushies, I mean, I'm sure there's people who also break the bank on regular ass plushies, who just buy like obsessively fucking $15, $20 Pokemon plushies or some shit, because they have plushies at this point of like every conceivable Pokemon. So if you went down that rabbit hole, you're heading towards the danger zone. But you know, as just something to casually purchase because you saw a character you liked, obviously plushies are fine. I mean, I have a bunch of Pokemon plushies myself, but it has to be like the right Pokemon and the right plush, and I have to be like, wow, this is actually worth this amount of money. And also, I'm buying it for my wife because I'm not buying it for myself. But you know, they're cool.